Tired of dealing with messy charcoal and empty propane tanks just to get a decent sear? Today, we're finding out if you can actually get authentic BBQ flavor simply by plugging into an outlet. I'll be counting down the top 7 electric grills to help you find the exact right fit for your balcony, backyard, or apartment. But stick around until the very end, because the grill that ultimately took the #1 spot completely blew my expectations out of the water with a feature I never even knew I needed. 7. The Jacgood Commercial Electric Griddle. When I first unboxed the Jacgood, I was immediately struck by its sheer size. It's a massive flat top teppanyaki style surface that completely took over my countertop. My initial thought was that this would be the ultimate weekend breakfast station, capable of pumping out pancakes and bacon for a small ummy. I fired it up for the first time to tackle a massive batch of smashed burgers, hoping to utilize all that expansive real estate. The stainless steel surface looks incredibly professional and definitely gives you that short order cook feeling right in your own home. It has a heavy, industrial vibe that makes you think it can handle anything you throw at it. However, actually cooking on it proved to be a vastly different experience. The heat distribution is incredibly uneven. While the dead center of the griddle gets scorching hot, the outer edges remain frustratingly cool, meaning I was constantly shuffling burgers around just to get them to cook at the same rate. Then came the cleanup process, which was a bit of a nightmare. The grease hole is awkwardly positioned, and the catch tray feels like an afterthought. As I was scraping down the burger grease, a significant amount ended up bypassing the hole entirely and leaking onto the counter, which completely ruined the fun of the cooking experience. Ultimately, if you just need a giant warm surface to keep a mountain of scrambled eggs ready for a buffet, it functions fine. But for serious grilling tasks that require reliable, even heat across the board, it severely misses the mark and ends up being more frustrating than it's worth. 6. The Cuisinart FlavorBoost Outdoor Electric Grill. Next up is the Cuisinart, which I was genuinely excited to test out on my small apartment balcony. It boasts a highly portable design, making it look like the perfect companion for tailgating or setting up in tight spaces where open flames aren't allowed. The main selling point here is the FlavorBoost technology, which utilizes a small metal cup over the heating element where you're supposed to add wood chips. The idea is that it infuses real wood smoke flavor into your food, bridging the gap between electric convenience and traditional BBQ taste. I enthusiastically soaked some hickory chips and threw on a couple of chicken breasts to test the theory. Unfortunately, the reality is entirely underwhelming. The lid of the grill is incredibly lightweight and simply doesn't seal well enough to trap the smoke. Instead of infusing the meat, the smoke immediately escapes out the sides and blows away in the wind. It feels less like a functional feature and more like a pure gimmick. Even worse is the heat retention. It takes an agonizingly long time to preheat, and the moment you open the lid to flip your food, the temperature absolutely plummets. I tried to get a solid, crusty sear on a strip steak, but the grill just couldn't recover its heat fast enough, resulting in a grey, sad-looking piece of meat that tasted baked rather than grilled. It's lightweight and easy to store, which is great if you just want to quickly heat up some hot dogs or thin veggie skewers. But if you have any serious grilling ambitions, this unit simply doesn't have the power or the design to back them up. 5. The Char-Broil Edge Electric Grill. This was the first full-size standing unit I tested, and right out of the box, it felt like a massive upgrade in build quality. It looks and feels like a traditional gas grill, complete with a sturdy base and a substantial lid. Putting it together was relatively painless, and I was immediately drawn to the generous cooking area. It's spacious enough to comfortably cook a full family dinner without having to work in batches. I loaded it up with a dozen drumsticks and a rack of asparagus, and it handled the volume beautifully. One of the standout features is its consistency. Unlike the previous models, the Char-Broil Edge holds its temperature remarkably well. When you set the dial, it reaches that heat and aggressively maintains it, even when you lift the lid to check your progress. The sear marks I achieved on some thick-cut pork chops were genuinely impressive for an electric element. I also have to mention the auto clean function, which is supposed to burn off excess residue after you're done cooking. I was skeptical, but it actually does a fantastic job of turning stuck-on grime into white ash that you can easily brush away the next day, making maintenance a breeze. My only real gripe is that the power cord is surprisingly short, meaning you're completely tethered to an outlet unless you invest in a heavy-duty extension cord. However, looking past that minor inconvenience, it's a highly reliable, consistent performer that brings true backyard grilling into the electric age. 4. The Ninja OG750 Woodfire Pro. This isn't just an electric grill, it's an absolute powerhouse of an all-in-one outdoor cooker. I unboxed it, set it up on my patio table. I was immediately intimidated by the sheer number of settings it offers. It grills, it smokes, it air fries, and it basically does everything short of washing your dishes. The defining feature of the Pro model is the built-in smart thermometer. I decided to test it by slow smoking a 3-pound pork shoulder. I inserted the probe, set my target internal temperature, and walked away. The grill automatically monitored the cook and shut off the moment it hit the perfect temperature, taking literally all the guesswork out of the equation. The Woodfire technology here is light years ahead of the Cuisinart. It features an integrated smoke box that automatically ignites natural wood pellets. I used a scoop of the robust blend, and it generated thick, rich, authentic blue smoke that genuinely penetrated the meat, creating a beautiful smoke ring I didn't think was possible on an electric unit. I also spent an afternoon using the air fry function, throwing in a massive batch of frozen crinkle-cut fries while my burgers rested. The convection fan is incredibly powerful, yielding perfectly crispy fries in minutes without needing to fire up my kitchen oven. It is definitely on the heavier side, making it less portable than it looks, and for long smoking sessions, you do have to refill the pellet hopper quite frequently. But the sheer versatility and the undeniable flavor it produces make it a top-tier piece of equipment. 3. The Ninja OG 321 Woodfire. You might be wondering why the base model outranks the Pro version. After testing both extensively, it completely comes down to pure value, simplicity, and everyday usability. While it lacks the built-in meat probe of the 751, it maintains the exact same core cooking technology and footprint. It fits flawlessly on a crowded patio table without dominating the space. When I just wanted to cook a quick Tuesday night dinner, this was the unit I found myself reaching for time and time again. I put its grilling capacity to the test with 4 large New York strip steaks, and the cooking surface proved to be incredibly efficient. Despite its compact look, it handled the volume with ease, and the high-density grill grate delivered exceptional edge-to-edge caramelization. The smoke generation on this model is identical to the Pro. You still get that phenomenal, authentic wood-fired flavor using just half a cup of pellets. I smoked a rack of baby back ribs for 3 hours, and the meat was full off the bone tender with a deeply complex, smoky flavor profile that rivaled my dedicated offset smoker. Operating it is incredibly intuitive, with simple dials and buttons that don't require an engineering degree to figure out. For the price point, you are getting an absolute workhorse that delivers world-class flavor without the premium markup of the smart features. 2. Weber's Lumin Electric Grill. Weber is legendary in the grilling world, so my expectations were sky high when I pulled this sleek, modern unit out of the box. It has a stunning, low-profile aesthetic that instantly elevates the look of any outdoor space. Where the Lumin absolutely dominates the competition is raw, searing heat. It boasts the ability to reach temperatures over 600 degrees Fahrenheit, and let me tell you, it delivers. I threw a thick-cut ribeye onto the porcelain enameled cast iron grates, and the sound of the sizzle was deafening. It produced a dark, crusty, steakhouse-quality sear that I have never seen matched by another electric unit. But it's not just a one-trick pony. The Lumin comes with a multifunctional reservoir system that completely changes how you can use it. I filled the reservoir with water to steam fresh broccoli right next to my grilling chicken, allowing me to cook an entire, healthy meal simultaneously without dirtying any pots in the kitchen. You can also use that same reservoir to hold wood chips for smoke infusion, which works incredibly well thanks to the heavily insulated, tightly sealing lid. And when you're done, the front access grease tray slides out effortlessly, making cleanup a shockingly quick and painless process. Yes, it comes with a premium price tag that might make you pause, but you're paying for flawless build quality, jaw-dropping high heat performance, and consistent, repeatable perfection every single time you turn the dial. 1. EliteFyre Volteq Smart Electric Grill. I've tested a lot of outdoor cooking gear over the years, but cooking on the Volteq genuinely felt like stepping into the future. It completely shattered every preconceived notion I had about electric grilling. The smart connectivity on this grill is absolutely flawless. I downloaded the companion app, synced it to the grill in seconds, and was immediately able to control the entire preheating process from my living room couch. I could monitor ambient grate temperatures and set custom heating zones directly from my phone while I was inside prepping the food. But the real magic happens on the grates. The heat distribution is mathematically perfect. I covered the entire surface area with burger patties, and every single one cooked at the exact same rate. There are absolutely zero cold spots, meaning you never have to play the frustrating game of musical chairs with your food to get an even cook. Furthermore, the rapid heating technology is simply mind-blowing. It reaches its maximum searing temperature in a fraction of the time of anything else on this list. On nights when I was rushing to get dinner on the table after a long day, the Volteq was ready to cook before I even finished seasoning the meat. It combines the authentic sear of a traditional grill with unmatched smart integration and a zero-compromise build quality. The EliteFyre Volteq isn't just the best electric grill on the market right now. It is the undisputed ultimate tool for the modern outdoor chef.